Welcome to the Recon Trader. In today's video, I will show you how to manually close or open a position when using the MUDREX platform crypto trading bot strategies. Like the one I currently have deployed, my Ichimoku Cloud Crossing strategy, which is currently up 35%, but I did manually close an order the other day right before ETH sold off. But before we get too far into the weeds, if you're not familiar with MUDREX, it is a crypto trading platform that allows you to create your own live crypto trading bot strategies, and you can actually get started for $0 for free. And that would allow you to deploy a bot similar to my Ichimoku Cloud Crossing bot that we'll be looking at today. Now, for a small investment of $16, you can upgrade to the premium account. If you do that, you will actually get 1 month free trial. And that includes unlimited backtesting, 24/7 live customer support. And I will tell you, MUDREX has some of the best customer support out there when it comes to the crypto industry. And on top of excellent customer service, you will have access to 1-minute tick resolutions, and you'll pay 0.5% versus 1% as far as the fees on your invested amounts. And if you're wondering about security, you actually connect your MUDREX crypto bots to your exchange via an API key. You don't actually send money to MUDREX. Your money stays on the exchange. They're simply having your bot send buy and sell signals to your exchange, so you have control of your money on your own exchange. Now, with that all being said, let's get to it. So I currently have a live crypto bot strategy running on Binance ETH USDT on the 1-hour tick interval. And the strategy involves my Ichimoku Cloud Cross strategy that actually looks something like what you see on the chart here for TradingView. I'm just using the baseline and the conversion line, this yellow line and the blue line, to execute buys and sells. And what it is actually looking for is when this blue line, the conversion line, crosses above the baseline, the yellow line, it will trigger a buy order for the bot. And then as this blue line moves along, when it turns down and crosses the yellow line, it will then trigger a sell order. So for example, on this current chart, your buy order would have been triggered here, and you would have had an entry around 11.95. And then as it moved along, when ETH sold off, you would have exited on the close of this candle down here as the blue line actually crosses right here. And so you would have exited for a loss at around $1,100. So you would have had a loss on this particular trade based on my strategy. And if you think, well, how well is the strategy doing? Actually, it's up 35% since I deployed it on December 1st. And if you look at the actual graph, I avoided that big sell-off. And the way I avoided that big sell-off is I actually manually closed the trade. Now, since I'm not in a trade, my option is to open a long trade, which can also be a very good option, is you could open a long trade if you felt like, in this instance, given my strategy on the conversion line crossing above the baseline, there's quite a distance to go right now. And if you felt like we put in a bottom, and this is going to start to turn up, you might want to enter your trade now rather than to wait for this line to cross up, because by that point, you're probably going to see a pretty good move and give up some profit. Now, in reality, this chart does not show signs to me that it's ready to recover and that, in fact, we may go sideways for a while. If we go sideways for a while, you'll actually see these two lines, when it goes sideways, get closer together. So at this point, I wouldn't be willing to open a long trade. But this particular trade that I entered on January 8th and actually saw a profit of 11% on would have actually been a losing trade. As you can see, I entered on January 8th. Had I held on until the cross, which would have been on this candle here, I would have actually had a losing trade. But instead, I manually closed this trade, as you can see, manual order. I manually closed the trade on January 10th at $1,278. And so instead of closing the trade based on my strategy at around $1,100, I actually closed at $1,278. Would have been towards the bottom of this candle. You can see a wick that actually goes down below the close. And I actually was watching the charts. I didn't like the way that it ran up, sold off, and didn't have the legs to actually make it back up into this higher region, and moved sideways with a lot of indecision and then started to sell off. And so I manually closed my position at $1,278, and in doing so I was able to capture an 11% win rather than something like an 8% loss. So that was a pretty good swing in my favor. And so I clearly took advantage of the possibility of placing a manual order. And in reality, when you're deploying your own crypto trading bots, you should be monitoring them on a regular basis, because there will be opportunities where you might be able to lock in profits that might turn into losers, or you might be able to open a long trade, for instance, and that early entry might contribute to more profit on the actual move. Now, with that all being said, when you deploy your strategy, it helps to understand all of the nuances of your strategy, the reason why it buys, the reason why it sells. And that's why I stress I don't recommend copying my strategies when you're watching my videos. I make the videos to show you how to create a strategy, not how to copy my strategies, because I fully understand how the Ichimoku cloud works. I actually know the math and everything behind these moving averages. If you don't, you're at a disadvantage when you deploy your bot. Also, when I create my strategies, it's based on the fact I know that I'm going to be able to monitor the bot and be able to send commands to my bot whether to engage or disengage from the battle. If you just set it and forget it, you most likely still will do very well, as all the backtesting on my bots is done on the basis of set it and forget it, and I won't deploy them unless they perform well under those conditions. But you have to keep in mind at times when you see my returns and you're not getting the same exact returns, odds are you're not managing your bot the same way I'm managing my bot. And so with that all being said, I did think it was important to share with you how I manage my bot's performance with manual buy and sell orders. And so if you like this video, do me a favor and spike a like. Also, I'll be doing a lot more videos in the future that actually show more detail on how I manage my crypto trading bots. So now would be a good time to shoot that subscribe button. If you have any questions or comments, be sure to leave those down below in the comment section. And remember, never send your money into battle without first doing your recon. I'll see you in the next video.